All right, and here we are. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome. I'm Glimo, Keeper of the Chronicles for this Call of Cthulhu Massive Nyarlathotep campaign on Roll20 and streaming live to Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to session 10. Somehow we have made it for 10 sessions. And we're missing Matt. Matt has had some real life stuff come up and had to drop out of the game, so we're going to co-op play Alejandro for tonight, and we'll change some things up after the chapter. Things have been pretty busy for me. I've had a couple of major projects wrap up at work, which has culminated in a few weekends in a row worth of work. So I'm happy to finally get to game instead. How's everybody else doing? We'll go around. Sean, let's start with you. How's everything in your world?
Just extremely busy and fighting that cold I think everybody's catching this time of year.
Ugh. Carl, what's going on in your world?
All sick all the time.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a good thing we didn't play earlier because I was like, definitely wouldn't have made those. And thumb surgery. So now I'm doing the left-hand mouse thing. So this will be interesting.
Well, at least it's not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, actually, I played first-person shooters left-handed once a long time ago. To train, kind of. I had some RSI injuries in grad school, and that was interesting. I played Quake for like, I don't know, a couple, like pretty solid for a week or something, and I got actually kind of decent on it. So if you ever really want to go left-handed, a first-person shooter is not a bad way of like quickly trying to build that coordination, but it's obviously still a little awkward.
All right, George, what's happening with you?
Well, I'm super happy that the Patriots won the Super Bowl, as it should have gone, but you never can tell. There's always going to be some ridiculous fourth quarter catch that from the freaking Giants or Eagles, and I was telling a friend that they've won so much that I can't actually remember all the wins, but I definitely remember all the losses.
I guess that's one way to look at it. We are pretty spoiled the last 20 years.
I think you could. I think it's the odds are you could still say we won that game by kicking the field goal, and that would probably be accurate for like 4 games. I think I'm not really sure. Maybe including this last one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember either.
Bill, what's happening with you?
It's been a lot of working. We had the Super Bowl celebrations and hung out with the family for the Super Bowl and had a great night that night. Yeah, other than that, it's been kind of working and not getting much else done. It's been too damn cold.
I hear you. So, who remembers what happened when we were all distracted by the playoffs and trying to get through the last session?
Crap, was that the Chargers game? No, that was the KC game, right?
KC game. 2 weeks.
I don't know why that will help me remember what happened in this game, but
We didn't actually advance the ball much because we were still like setting up the raid on the cultists.
I think we kind of really screwed the pooch.
no, we went back, right? So
Yep.
to kind of last time we went back, we went into like the basement under the trap door behind the cash box rug, and then you guys fought some zombies, or I don't know what, some kind of zombie-like thing, and then you looted a bunch of stuff, which I've forgotten,
Mhm.
and then we
Well,
got in there. I found some ledger, but didn't take it with me, and then we tried to. I think we were trying to talk to the cops, but then we didn't.
no, we
Forget how-
didn't, because we really couldn't. At that point, we were a little. It's too late. We couldn't come up with a proper approach to talk to the police. That's where we were going to think it over. I really think in the end we screwed up, because we got, was it the wife of the guy that's on death row pretty much killed.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was one of the
Yep.
zombies.
I don't know if we can prove that the guy's innocent, so we screwed that up. And I don't know if we're going to properly get revenge. That's the problem here. Is it's like a trifecta. We got it right.
We could try for revenge.
We can
I
try
don't think
for
we-
revenge.
I don't think we got that woman killed. I think that was going to happen one way or the other. And
We'll never know now.
I don't really recall us like signing a contract or something saying we're going to get that guy off death row. So that
Well,
was
no, but I mean, it would have been, the sort of the pulpy hero thing to do to get the guy, a falsely accused guy, off the death row.
Yeah, but that would require that we're knowing what we're doing.
That's true. Because, like I said, we screwed up because we've been blundering around the place, right? So, I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, so you guys just blundered a little in further. I was off reading books. So I wasn't with the party.
So a reminder of the loot that you got. You got a pair of lion's claws that are affixed to a glove that can be used as a weapon. You've got the book Africa's Dark Sects, stamped property of the trustees of Harvard University.
You know who's going to be looking at that?
You got a mask with 4 hideous faces on it. And I think that Alejandro nailed another Cthulhu Mythos roll, so you know that it's the 4 faces of 4 of the outer gods. You got a burnished copper bowl etched with unrecognizable runes and signs. You got a carved scepter inset with runes. You got a headband of gray metal. And you took a locked cash box full of jewelry and other personal items from some of the missing victims.
And we found the ledger. Silas's ledger contained weekly payments to WR14. I forgot who WR is, but it is, or the name, but it's
He's
one
the
of the
corrupt.
cops from Precinct 14.
Yes, it's
Say
Robson.
Will Robinson or something like that, but that's the kid from Lost in Space, which is an excellent series, by the way. If people haven't seen that, the new one.
I haven't seen the new one.
I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, good to know.
I'll back that one. Yeah, that's about what I would say too.
Yeah.
It's got some faults, but it's interesting. It kept me.
It's got a lot of. Well, we've got 15 minutes. Let's have the robot save everything.
Yeah.
So just like the original then.
I don't. That was a little
I
before my
don't
time.
remember I thought the kid didn't the kid save everybody, or was it the robot?
I
The
think it
kid's
was
robot.
both.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Okay.
All right.
So, it's late on Friday. I know at the end of last session, you had talked about wanting to go and talk to Lieutenant Poole, and then over the break, we've kind of talked about whether or not you actually want to do that. Do you want to go talk to Lieutenant Poole? And if not, what's the plan?
I thought we were gonna have our lawyer talk to him when we're like in another jurisdiction.
Yeah, pass all the stuff off to the legal experts, and we're moved on.
Let's
We're
start a
prob-
campaign where we're just like all lawyers.
That would take 6 sessions to get through the first day.
I'm not gonna make it through the past the first session. I'll give you that right now. So on all seriousness, excuse me. I don't know. I guess I find it hard to believe that. Well, it's like what I wrote on the board, which I forgot, but I find it hard to believe that we could get the police to really help us, and then if we
Yeah,
don't,
that's
and then
pretty
we go and do it anyways, which we're like to because this is an RPG, then it seems like we're just setting ourselves up even more.
We're gonna commit multiple felonies, so I don't really know that it's an awesome idea to tell the police beforehand.
Like, I just don't know what I would say. That's the real problem. I mean, I'll be totally honest. Let me try and look up what I
No,
wrote.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, the problem is that part of the way I said, kind of blew it is that, it was bad choices we made, bad roles initially that we couldn't have staked, this place out better. Maybe we could have caught, somebody had some camera skills, could take some pictures, some more incriminating evidence or something. Um, anyway. I think you get what I'm trying to say is that it's really hard for us to have any sort of proof. And now that we sort of blundered in there, shot up the place, ripped off stuff, destroyed we got it that we're on to the stuff, and I'm just afraid he's going to skip town, right? Maybe blowing up the place before he does so.
Oh, do we have dynamite?
No, but give me some time.
Could make some.
You're like the tech whiz archetype, right, or something?
And a
Yeah.
demolitions expert.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Yeah, if things are going bad, we just blow up the building.
All right. Is anyone for talking to the police? I think Matt was saying, which is academic because he's not here, but Bill.
You're muted, Bill.
Yeah, sorry, the wife was in here asking me for some stuff. So I missed the last little bit.
Oh, I was just saying, like, is anyone for talking to the police? I think Matt was but he's not here, so that's kind of academic.
No, the more I thought about it, the more I thought stay away from the police. We can do it through the lawyer, kind of from another continent.
All right, so we have to talk to Carlton and tell him. Do we want to tell him we're going in, or just that we found all this junk?
Yeah.
We could do the thing where like we write it up and then give it a letter to him and tell him to send it to the lieutenant after we're out of town.
The post-dated check play. Yeah, I mean, what is even the point of having the lawyer talk to the police? Just so like we could tell the authorities that what really happened.
Yeah, and I guess maybe also, or maybe we could have him meet us at the docks, and if we find that ledger,
I think the big point was if we could have proven, the guy's innocence that's on death row. That's why it's screwed up. That's the only reason to talk to the cops is try to get the evidence. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that at this point. I think that's what we were thinking at one point, right? Part of the play. But
Well, it doesn't seem like we found any evidence so far.
well, nothing that's worth a damn.
So if anything, maybe we'll find something if we survive after all. All right, so excuse me. Excuse me. All right, so we're not talking to the cops, I guess. Are we having the lawyers talk to the cops or not?
I would say that would be after.
All right, after.
Yeah.
Sold. So I guess we're hanging out and preparing for Saturday night. Was that the?
Yes, so Saturday night
the big
is
party?
when you think the ritual is going to happen. So are you still looking to show up at the Juju House on Saturday and
Mess
things up? Or are you just getting out of Dodge?
I thought we were going to go and commit multiple homicides.
Excellent. Just
That's why I got like the car with the large
just
horsepower.
making sure I know which way you guys are going.
I got the car and checked out the situation at the docks. I remember last time.
Okay, if I can make one thing, like we should leave with the lawyer. I think, like the trinkets, the things that we think they're they kept from their victims, right?
Yes.
Maybe the lawyer can search to see if anything came from one of the victims prior to the guy going. I don't know, something. I'm grasping at straws here, but that's what the lawyer's for.
So yeah, we're gonna give him the
so
serial
you
killer
want to go by
trophy.
the lawyers, but by the lawyers' place Saturday daytime before everything
Just
goes.
tell him, it's not admissible. It's hard to say.
I mean, we could drop a parcel in the mail.
Yeah, figure out what he can do with it. He's a lawyer. He gets paid the bucks to figure it out.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna just bring the serial killer trophies on him.
Yeah, I think like maybe one of you guys who are good at writing things up should, kind of.
Aren't you the author?
I wrote like crappy pulp novels. I'm not I was like Jesse's kind of just like a bad academic all the way around. But like, I mean, it could be all of us. Oh, I mean, I think the thing that I would suggest is we send the lawyer the stuff and we include kind of one of these very Call of Cthulhu-like letters that kind of tries to explain all the stuff, but then causes as many mysteries as it explains. Kind of just as a rundown of everything that we found out, even though we can't prove everything.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm hearing a couple different things. Do you want to go and see the lawyer in person and drop the stuff off, or you're just going to throw stuff in the mail?
I'm good with either method. Whatever majority votes on, I'm cool with.
Let's just throw shit in the mail.
Yeah, I'll go with shit in the mail.
more, I don't know, more plausible deniability.
Don't talk to your fixer. Why would you want to talk to your fixer? Sure, I'm all for that.
Does he have flamethrowers?
Are you gonna make
Maybe
like?
well, be fair. He might have a strategy we haven't thought of.
You have yeah, fertilizer bombs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking just like the less people know of the horror, the better. It feels to me that like we have to kind of go through Saturday in order to get kind of any more progress anyway. So, but I don't know. People want to talk to him. That's fine. We got Saturday morning.
Is there anything in any of those like Eldritch books that we found that might suggest what types of Eldritch horrors we might encounter?
In the pit.
We do have Africa's Dark Sects now. I could give that a perusal to see if there's any
Let me
link to the Cult of the Bloody Tongue.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, the ways these things go, there's always some horrific, like sanity destroying shit with the cultists, or that you know that is contacting the cultists and they're going to come out and kill the investigators.
give me 1 second, guys, because I need to find what I did with the page that says what's in that book. So you know what? This will be faster. Nope, that's volume 1. So, Africa's Dark Sects. All right. So, I'm assuming that Alistair's looking at this.
Yep, that's I'll take the sanity hits.
Okay. All right, so you can figure out, you can do an initial study of this tonight. So what Alistair finds out, so this book was written by Nigel Blackwell during his travels across Africa. The book is an odd mix of travelogue and expose of the ritual practices of various African cults. It was published in 1920. Blue pasteboard covered with marbled end papers and blue stained page edges. Although the notes of his travels were obviously turned into a book, no publisher is listed on the title page. And as I said, this one was obviously stolen from Harvard's Widener Library. Okay. So you are going to lose 3 sanity for reading the book.
Dope.
You gain 2 more points of Cthulhu Mythos. There is one spell in the book called Create Simba. Ciimba. You realize that this is the spell that created the zombie-like beings that you had to deal with. Create Simba was developed by Kyaku sorcerers of Kenya. In order to create the undead servant, the person chosen must die by ritual mutilation. The priest then chants over the remains of the body from the moment life leaves it until it reanimates, approximately 18 to 20 hours later.
Well, that answers
The Simba
questions.
created in this manner continues to rot after it's risen, so the priest must periodically mutilate new enemies to create more undead servants. And a Simba will perform mundane and simple tasks such as guard this, fetch that, or kill them.
So here's I got 2 game questions.
Yes.
One, can anybody cast spells?
So you can learn anyone can learn under pulp mechanics. Anyone can learn a spell from a Mythos tome after they've done the initial read of the book and have paid the sanity penalty. Then there's a study in order to get the spell, and then you have to have sufficient either magic points, power points, or both, depending on how powerful the spell is, in order to cast the spell. And a number of spells also take additional sanity, either sanity or power, in order to cast. Basically, once you start casting spells, you're going down the point of diminishing returns for keeping your character around.
Yeah, the sanity loss comes on pretty quick.
And then 2, if so wait, who read the book? Seamus?
No, Alistair, Bill.
Alistair, yeah.
Okay. So if you read a book that causes sanity loss and then you tell other people what's in the book, do they lose sanity? I forget how this works.
No, but he can't impart. He can impart a little, like he can tell you, the quick summary that I gave, but you won't be able to, learn a spell from the book, and you won't be able to, Alistair can now make Cthulhu's Mythos rolls because he now has points in Cthulhu Mythos, whereas you don't.
Okay. So if it's still Friday or Saturday, or I don't know what day it is it still Friday?
We're going through the Friday night stuff.
Okay.
So, Bill's gonna take the book home and read the book, and that's gonna take him the rest of the night, and that's what he learns from it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I spend the rest of the night just kind of trying to write down everything that's happened in this letter to the lawyer.
Bill, the other thing that you know is that a complete study of the book will take you 3 weeks, and you'll gain even more Cthulhu Mythos understanding.
All right, I'll have to make note of that in case in the future I've got 3 weeks to spend.
Testing your sanity.
Uh-huh. We're all a little mad here.
I think we should be,
True.
except for Alistair, I think everyone else should be accumulating as much explosive material as possible. I think
Actually,
we
I
just
only lost sanity.
we
so
just
far.
toss dynamite and grenades and advance over whatever we find and just keep blowing stuff up. And in the end, we just set the building on fire.
I'm kind of worried about that pit.
Sure, set a building on fire in the middle of Manhattan. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that?
That will cover up any incriminating evidence.
And, burn down a whole city block? Sure.
The plug was messed up anyways.
It's a bad neighborhood. Doing a civil service.
Yeah, let's see. We got an abandoned pawn shop and some guy who narked on us from across the street.
Yeah.
Don't forget the pit hiding eldritch horrors, because you know.
Hopefully, fire will kill it.
Throw some pennies in the well.
The cleansing purity of flame. Oh wait, wrong game.
Anybody else having difficulty with Roll20?
There are so many difficulties. Explain how.
Oh, I had a message saying my server was interrupted and kicked me out, and try getting back in Chrome. That didn't work. I'm trying Edge now.
Interesting.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Seems to work for me.
Remember, technically, I'm in another country.
Well, we don't know where Roll20 is, so maybe we're all in another country. No, I played some
they're
guys like
hosted on
Germany
Google
and
Cloud,
stuff.
so they're everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Cloud.
Oh boy, is this loading slowly.
Let me see. Are there any things I want to get? Nope.
All right, so it's Saturday morning. What are you all doing?
I'm having breakfast.
Are you okay? After breakfast, are you guys laying in supplies? Are you going to see the lawyer?
How many explosives did we prepare last night? I think we need to keep stocking up.
I'm not actually sure how we're gonna what's the plan there? We're just gonna go in and like lob dynamite? Really?
Yeah, that's my plan. Stuff blows up. If it's still moving, we shoot it. Then, the next room you cleared out with explosives, then rinse and repeat.
Wait, let me. So wait,
Right.
like a bunch of people are gonna be at the house, right? Like all the
Cultists,
friggin' murderers and cultists.
possibly the sacrifice, but
And then,
collateral.
okay, yes, there may be a sacrificial persons.
I think we already took 4 of those away from them. So
No, we killed the zombies.
yeah, I think that was probably whatever's in the pit's food.
So there may be new people coming in, I guess. And then, wait, so are we just gonna walk in, or we're gonna pretend like we're one of the cultists, or?
We just roll in, a stick of dynamite, and like I said, if there's a room in front of us, we roll in a stick of dynamite. It explodes. If anyone's still moving, we shoot them, and then we do that to the next room and the next room. And then Oh,
it's not really
like
a room.
Call of
It's,
Duty.
if that's a plan, it would be better off, I think, is wait till they get down there. Don't even have to necessarily a full explosive, but maybe some smoke or tear gas, something that struck breathing. It would flush them out coming out of the basement, and that'd be easy pickings. Let's turkey shoot.
Yeah, I feel like maybe dynamite is the second option. I mean, do we want to get anything out of this besides this like body count? Like how are we
I think we need to murder all the cultists and possibly then deal with the pit, right?
it?
Probably
But how
not a whole bunch of dynamite down there.
So we're just like full on Revenge of Elias Jackson.
Are you planning on taking any prisoners?
I don't know. I was just like, well, wait. I was trying to think back of like, okay, well, how are we clearing anybody's name? I guess I could steal the ledger, but I don't know what that would do. I guess we'd have to.
It would implicate the corrupt police captain, right?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I'm not quite sure like how we would get a confession out of these folks, anyways. I guess, but
They have 0 sanity, so they're not going to break.
is that how that works?
Yeah, I thought it's like once your sanity goes to 0, then you give your character sheet to the keeper, and he becomes a cultist.
Are all cultists in like sanity 0? Then is that what you're saying?
I think that's correct, isn't it?
Not
I don't know. It's a
necessarily.
legit question.
I mean, anyone that has, summoned a dark god, yeah, probably has sanity 0. But your run-of-the-mill mooks may still have some sanity left.
You're just like the party member, just going along.
Yeah, they're just some poor schlub who's joined the union and trying to make a living. Henchman Union 104.
Kevin said I should just show up here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could do this pulp style and just like see what the hell happens when we get there.
So
I
I am gonna warn you again, for the last time. If you do just throw dynamite in there, you are going to kill a lot of innocent people in the neighboring tenement buildings when the fire spreads out of control.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was saying better choice would be smoke them out.
I think dynamite is a exiting option.
Do we have tear gas or smoke grenades?
That doesn't exist,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is after World War I, so you don't really have so much tear gas as you've got mustard gas. Seamus probably knows how to make that, but that's got its own things.
let's just like so can we each have like our own bag of like chlorine?
We need a gas mask.
Oh, actually that's like super pulp.
Mm-hmm.
Could all be the Sandman.
Yeah. No,
Dude,
I think
that's actually kind of awesome. Maybe that should be my next character.
Are you my mommy?
All right. I mean, I got what I got. I mean, if the demolition experts of the party want to get other things, it's
like I said, to do a proper demolition that wouldn't be a complete bloodbath of the surrounding area. It takes time and planning, which we don't have.
I was thinking like a couple sticks of dynamite, but it's not clear when the right situation would be to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And honestly, if we're in that situation, I think with a stick of dynamite and things like that, it's not as effective as you might think of a grenade or something. It's still much better off using firearms. Like I said, you were there, right? You know, there's a little trap door, it goes down. For all we can tell, there's one way in, one way out, right? We wait till we have the opportunity, swing in there. I say put down some smoke at least, because you can do that, right?
I'll say that you could make some smoke grenades.
And plop it down there. They got, they're gonna have to come up if to breathe or see. And
Or
again,
go in the
turkey
pit.
shoot. Or they fisticate, either way, we win.
yeah. Actually, could we drop
make
something
something
down
fun.
there to use all their oxygen and just keep the door closed?
Like, you mean stand on the trap door or something?
Yeah, or they might shoot up, but like put something heavy on top of the
Yeah.
like a statue on top of the trap door.
Well, we could try it.
So
I don't think that
hold
would
on one
kill
second.
the
I'm gonna flip the
Sounds like we're
map
planning
on
the
for you
assault.
guys,
We're going to
so
full
that
assault
you
mode.
so that you can remember what you're dealing with here. So
Why is this map so?
So here at the top of the thing, there's the trap door is right here where I'm pinging. And then there's a long stairway that goes down into the basement. There was a big heavy door here, and then there was the room of horror here.
I don't see any pinging. Are you pinging?
He stopped.
I stopped now, but so
It's basically
this-
wherever my token. It's basically
Yeah,
like where my token is. Roughly.
yeah, so that's so where Jesse's token is where the trapdoor is, and then there's a big long staircase that goes down. There was a big heavy door there that took a lot of muscling open, and then there was the big room with the pit and the zombies and all of that.
And there's like a crane or something. I can't remember what that.
Yeah,
was.
there's a winch that was attached to the top of the pit.
If we drop dynamite down into the pit, that's not going to set anything on fire, right?
Depends what.
Well,
the
you don't
pit's
know
for.
what's in the pit. You
Yeah.
haven't you never took the top off the pit.
Well,
Because that would be
I
madness.
don't think we really want to. I think we just want to drop dynamite down there.
Well, you'd have to take the top off in order to drop anything down.
And we basically went, nope.
There was a giant concrete slab that was too heavy for Alejandro to move by himself, and he couldn't convince anyone else to help him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good.
Because
So you don't
something
know what's in
staying
the
in
pit.
the
You don't know how
concrete
deep the pit is. You just know that there's a big circular thing with a giant concrete slab over the top of it.
We kill all the cultists. Do we really need to take a look and see what's in the pit?
no.
No.
Maybe then, like, we could, after we kill all the cultists, we could talk to our lawyer and tell him what we did, and don't even open up the pit. Just concrete everything over.
We could dynamite the Juju House on top of the pit.
Yeah, I think we've safely established, though, that, like I said, that needs to be a controlled demolition that takes quite a bit of time, as though not to disturb the rest of the buildings around there.
Yeah, just do your best with the time you have. All right, I say we discover that how we want to end this at the end. I don't have any other prep I want to make.
So you are not going to see the lawyer today. You're just gonna wait until midnight and then head over to the Juju House. Is that what I'm hearing the plan is?
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Should we mail off the stuff?
Are you mailing off the stuff or are you
Yeah.
meeting with him if you survive?
Does Alejandro still? He had a camera down there, didn't he? He took some photos.
Jesse had the camera and took photos.
We say we
Yeah,
also
but
dropped.
we don't know how good those photos are. If
Wouldn't hurt to drop them in at the same time.
drop what in, I'm not sure I understand.
The film, tell them to get developed. You took photos of the store and the basement. Remember?
Yeah, but I also didn't have any photo skills. So I
True.
mean, what are we saying? Just give them the film?
What else are you gonna do with it?
Have an expert develop them.
I don't know. Photoshop. Sure, I don't care. I mean, I think Eric's gonna just say like, "Oh, you took a picture of nothing," but I mean, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, we could do that.
So I'm confused. Are you dropping stuff in the mail to Carlton, or are you putting stuff aside to bring to him after your assault on the Juju House? Because I've heard two conflicting things here.
I thought we were putting it before we went on the assault.
Is that the plan?
In case we don't make it back.
Are you dropping it off in person, or are you dropping it in the mail?
I mean, I don't really care either way. I mean, if someone walks out and then they like figure out what we're doing right there, then we don't have like time to get away.
Well, I don't think we need to get away from the lawyer. He knew we're doing some sketchy stuff.
Yeah, but if he turns it over to other people, then that might be a thing.
I mean,
True.
he contracted you to do sketchy stuff. He's he was Jackson's lawyer for 30 years. He's used to the crazy. He's the one who, set up the trust account for you. You're supposed to be giving him regular check-ins and, letting him know if you need money.
I thought we just took all the money.
No, you
Oh.
don't take all the money. He is the trustee. You have to, tell him what you need and send him progress reports and receipts.
Well, I think we should make out a lot of receipts for dynamite. We had $10,000. We got $10,000 worth of dynamite.
You only need 5.
It's not a negotiation.
I can get this job done with only $6,000 of dynamite. Give it to me.
I think you might ask some questions then.
I don't know. I'm still for throwing it in the mail, but if you guys want to just leave it in real time, then that's fine.
Whatever. Let's just. It doesn't really matter that much, does it?
Well, we got plenty of time. I mean, I can see if we go drop it in real time, we're gonna end up having a conversation with the guy.
Oh, did we get money for our ticket out of town after we commit multiple homicides?
Well, you haven't actually talked to the lawyer since the
You haven't-
reading of the will, so no, you have
No.
not gotten anything.
Then how did I get the money for the car?
Your own pocket?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're just renting a car, right?
I mean, I thought you were just paying a buddy of yours to,
No, I bought like a high-end car with a powerful
Well,
engine.
that's not
Actually
what you
bought a
said the
car?
last session. You said you were talking to a buddy to ask him if he,
No.
if
I
if he
definitely
could.
said that I got a high-end car with a big engine.
I understood it that you were having someone waiting for you driving. You definitely don't have the money to go and buy a high-end car.
Well,
All right.
get
let's
money
split
for
up the
that.
car.
then.
So we have or do not have a car.
You can have, a mook ready to drive you, away from the scene. But you don't own a car.
Well, worst comes to worst, we could always just take over the car if we really want to drive the car.
You've got a wheelman buddy who is.
In that case, maybe we should, briefly talk to the lawyer and get money because I think we're gonna need to split town, so we're gonna need spending cash.
Well, I have on my character sheet somehow. What was the plus $5,000?
Yeah,
That
didn't we
that's
get a
the
bunch of
that's
money?
that's the money that you have access to.
That's a crap ton of money.
Yes.
I thought
You don't. He did not give you $5,000. You have access to $5,000.
Then why did we spend all that money on clothes and food and stuff?
You didn't.
Well, wait. I mean, what are you thinking of getting out of town in?
Well, no, I thought we were gonna go to the docks and get a ride out on a tramp freighter or something. That
Well, that
wouldn't
should
be any
make
question.
it cheap. It's a freighter. All I'm saying is
Where?
how much could a ticket cost, right? At least in for my spending level, I have $20 cash or something, which seems like a lot in
So
1925.
what Martin had done was he had gotten himself a wheelman to be ready for you guys to go, and had found
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
there's a tramp steamer leaving for Boston that will, that if you needed to get out of town in a hurry on no notice, that you could do that, and $5 a head, that no questions asked, they'd
So we don't need to ask for
throw you in
money
the
for any
bill.
of this if we're cool with everything Eric just said.
Do they have
Sorry, $5 a head. Going where?
Boston.
And Boston. Okay.
Yeah, it was not
Doesn't really
far.
matter.
I mean, it was just, it would get you out of New York.
Just because I looked at the cost.
That was what Martin had asked
Yeah.
for last session, and I said that was all doable.
Yeah. 'cause
Now,
it's
if
about
you
35
want
bucks
to
here.
actually go somewhere to advance the plot, now that's gonna cost you a lot more than $5.
Yeah.
Well, they got Western Union because that was a 19th century thing. So we could just wire us the money.
Yeah, but let's figure out, where do we want to go?
We don't know where we want to go because we haven't finished the chapter. I mean, we could go to all those places in the match.
Well, no,
book.
I mean, if we're planning on skipping town, we should do it in an intelligent manner. Where are we going to go after we do this? I mean, if we're going to escape someplace, we're going to. Or is it you're going to go to England, France, Europe, place in Europe, Africa, Australia?
I thought there were plot coupons for Kenya and Hong Kong.
You have in your.
Yes.
So,
Shanghai.
do you want to have this conversation, at the lawyer's office where
Yes, I think
someone
we
can.
should.
Yes.
At this point.
Oh,
Right.
man.
That way we can have an NPC tell
Yeah.
us what we need to know.
I think we just go and do it.
Let's come on. Let's get into
All
this
right.
over.
So you show up at Carlton's office, gentlemen. How fares the investigation so far?
Interesting, weird stuff.
Just thinks there's been too much talking and not enough action now.
There's going to be an explosive breakthrough. I can feel it in my
So
bones.
we got a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of that are not tying up, so I think we're gonna force some people's hands.
I think
We're
we
gonna
can
knock them dead.
fill them right in on the Juju House and what we think is going to happen there tonight.
Give them the trinkets, the film to be developed.
So Carlton kind of leans over his desk. He's like, "Well, I thought Jackson was the crazy one, but you boys, you really take the cake here. You've got a lot going on." He says, if I hadn't heard some of this initially from Jackson, and if it wasn't for the brutally grisly way in which he was murdered, I'm not sure that I'd believe you. But well,
He doesn't have to believe
here's
us.
here's what I can
I
tell
say
you. And
technically
so,
only Alistair's the crazy one because he read the book.
so he kind of helps you organize all of the stuff that you've collected uh from this crazy misadventure so far. And so, he points out that you've got things that are kind of sending you to like 5 different places. There it is. So he says, you've got connections to England. You've got that business card for Edward Gavigan. And you know that the Carlisle expedition all stopped off in England on the way over to Egypt. Of course, you've got Egypt as a place to think about. Um, you found that matchbook and one of the photographs that points towards China. You know that Kenya was where the expedition was killed. You've got Professor Cowles over in Australia. He says, all of these roads are probably eventually going to push you to the African continent, either to Egypt or Kenya. He says, but you know that the Carlisle expedition stopped off in England. It's going to be any ship that's going to take you to Africa is going to stop off in England first. He says, I'd probably suggest that we book you passage on a ship heading off to England, so that at the very least, if things go south for you tonight, that tomorrow morning we can get you out of Dodge. And that would be a reasonable place for you to start your next set of investigations. Plus, it's fairly, centrally located to every place else that you're thinking about going.
Yeah, kind of my thoughts too.
Does he want us to leave out of New York or Boston?
He says, "Well, it would certainly be easier for me to arrange your transport out of New York." Uh, he says, it's probably a week's journey to England. Things will hopefully, calm down a little bit while you're at sea. He said, I could certainly, make arrangements to get you. He says, you know, worst case, if you run
Did we,
back here tonight, early tomorrow morning after things finish one way or the other, I can hide you in my office, and then you can sail on the evening tide. I can make those arrangements and get you out of town, no questions asked.
That makes sense. I don't think.
Well, he's a little too eager to help us.
do we
My
explain?
God, dude! Like, you always complain that the NPCs aren't helpful, and then the one time that they're that I try to bend over backwards to help you, and they're like, "Oh, he's too helpful."
It's
What
a
the hell,
little
man?
suspicious.
Did he explain? Do we explain that we're going to commit multiple felonies, and by hiding us, he's going to be accessory after the fact?
He's all like, "Cool."
It's a little convenient. I don't know. I'm paranoid about everything now.
Okay, whatever. I mean, if he's willing to do that, then
Can we go by Zeppelin? Because that's like really cool. I hear the Germans have developed awesome Zeppelins.
He says, "Well, you could probably get from England, onto the continent by Zeppelin, but
Yes.
the transatlantic Zeppelins aren't really up to snuff yet."
well, ignore the Heisenberg. That was an anomaly.
You mean Hindenburg?
Or Hindenburg, yeah.
Yeah, Hindenburg hadn't been invented yet, I guess. But trying to see when Graf Zeppelin. What year is it again?
It's like 20
25.
something, right?
I feel like we've had this conversation.
Yeah, we have. And
Yes.
Graf Zeppelin wasn't up yet. The R.
Probably hopping
You know,
Montgolfier's balloon.
I'll let you, push things a little bit because of Pulp, but we're not gonna have transatlantic Zeppelins in 25.
It's only a 2-year difference.
Just a few years from the Lindbergh crossing.
Well, that was fixed wing, so that's a whole different feat. Much more difficult back then.
Well, it's
Right.
the Hindenburg disaster was preceded
1937.
by the R-38 in 1921, 44 dead. The Roma in 22, 34. There were airships in the 20s.
Not the Hindenburg didn't explode till like 37.
Yeah, but so there was a crash in
There-
21. Which
There
left
were
40 dead.
airships, but they were not transatlantic. It's quite the feat to go across the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's basically a giant balloon. It's more pulpy. All right, well, whatever. I don't really care.
Well, we got Congresswoman wanting to build a train to Hawaii.
How's that work? Hyperloop?
It will be the longest ever suspension bridge.
That's a crap ton of tunneling.
Someone's watching too much BoJack Horseman.
Mariana's Trench before.
So I
Hawaii?
think we're all agreed we do the boat thing to England. Okay? Just to move along.
I'm on board.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's fine.
It gives me
We'll
a
see
week
if we
to
even survive.
do some more sanity damage.
Exactly. Okay. So, you've got 12 plus hours before things are going to get hopping at the Juju House. Where do you want to where are you going to set yourselves up?
Like,
Like, are you just gonna, you know, stay in Manhattan and then, you know, head up to Harlem after midnight? Are you gonna stake the place out from either the tenements or the pawn shop? How are you getting this done?
Does
Were we gonna build a transmitter in the pawn shop?
I don't know.
at the time?
I remember that was a conversation.
Worthwhile. I mean, I do have certain skills, but you know.
Is
I remember it's 1920s, not 1930s or 40s.
Eh,
is the Juju House open for business on Saturdays as well as? Or is this a work day for
It
what's?
is a working day for the Juju House, yes.
So he's gonna like be gone for an hour for lunch, right?
That
Probably.
that is his normal MO, although, you know, you did burgle his place the day before.
You can't prove anything.
I'm not sure we actually. Well, I guess we did take stuff, but from the secret basement.
We also shot up the place, destroyed
Which
those
he wouldn't,
things.
I would assume, go to the cops about, like, hey, my secret basement filled with dead zombies in a pit leading to horrors.
I'm just saying, you know, he might not be on his normal routine today.
He also might not even be there. Have we thought about it?
I say we just do it in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, because last time we tried to stake it out, and it seemed to be like this big, like, there ain't no way of staking it out thing.
All right, so you're just gonna
I mean, that's what I think, unless someone's got a better idea.
you're just gonna show up there, you know, after midnight.
Well, do we know? I forget. Do we know, like, ritualistically speaking, like when this happens? Like, can we just plan around that?
Like, what was the time that we were given
You
before?
were told that that all of the uh, murders and kidnappings seemed to happen uh, towards, you know, towards midnight, and that the Juju House things, you know, that people started showing up at the Juju House uh, between midnight and and 1.
And I forget. Were the cultists dressed in this? Did they have like a specific dress?
Weren't they wearing like a?
I mean,
cloak?
we've
Yeah, there
encountered
was
them
So
before.
the
so
tongue mask.
so what Hilton told you was that, you know, people just showed up in regular clothes to the Juju House between, you know, midnight and 1. People would start showing up there. That earlier in the day, a lot of times large crates would show up, you know, 11, 12 o'clock, and then people would start showing up around 1.
We don't know what's in the crates.
Well, you found crates in the basement, and they were blood-stained on the inside.
So people, or meats, or something. Okay. I mean, Silas definitely knows us, but we haven't really met anybody else, right? So what are the odds of just kind of going in along with everybody else?
4, terrible.
Well, I'm just trying to think else. Like, who else? Who else knows us? I guess, or maybe they know each other.
Enough people, probably.
What's that?
Enough people.
Yeah, we like ran into them on the balcony, not the balcony, at the fire escape. So there was those couple guys that we took out.
We're pretty
Robson would know us well.
sure that we probably been followed. That's how they got to the wife. They know we're a pain in the ass. I'm surprised we're not.
Guys?
We should be making sure we're not being fault-tailed as it is.
Right, and the corrupt cops will be there, most likely.
That's if he's an actual cultist. He's not just taking the cash.
What are our odds of stealthing? I can't remember, but
So, I mean, I don't think. I know for a fact not all of you even have any skill in stealth. And you're only as stealthy as your least stealthy person.
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro only has base. So that's 20.
Same here.
Yep, same here.
So, not good.
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is that we.
I don't know.
I think the best thing is if we're going to not stake out the place, is that we show up after 1-ish, go and assault the building. Though
Step 1, whistle 1. Step 2, open fire.
Yeah, mind you, we might want to have 2 components. If we could get somebody to do a casual drive-by, make sure to see if the place is still open today, like it should be normally. If he hasn't, done something, right, gone off, and then maybe. I'm still thinking maybe a stakeout a little while before.
The problem is you can't do a casual drive-by because it's in an alley. It's off an alley.
Right. And the problem is
almost like he wanted a defensive position.
Oh no, guaranteed he wanted, but that's just a little bastard.
What if we got the driver to do it?
Yeah, can I ask my?
I mean, he just has to walk in and walk out. The store's going to be either open or not, but he's not.
Sure.
Not a known accomplice of.
Send a kid in to get a monkey paw and ask him what he sees in there.
Sure, why not?
All right, so you send an accomplice by. The store is open, but one of the things he did notice is that there seems to be an awful lot of bigger looking guys just kind of hanging out in the alley. Think you're muted, Bill.
Are they armed?
Not openly, but he didn't stick around long enough to find out. They were kind of giving him the eye when he went in and out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's not going to be an easy way in if it's a well defensible position. It's going to be well defensed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, if there's some guys who are outside, I guess we're just going to have to get by them. But we wait till everybody's in the basement, hopefully, and then see what happens. They'd probably do the ceremony or whatever in the basement, right?
Seems legit.
Yeah, from what I know of...
asking the people with occult knowledge.
Yeah, from all the stuff I know from the mythos, it would be the senior members down around the pit doing any kind of summoning.
All right. So what did we say? 4 guards?
Yeah, you said there was 4 guys out in the alley
All right.
during, I mean it's daytime, the shop's open, but he seems to think that you've definitely kicked the hornet's nest. Well, I tell you what, guys,
Okay.
it's 9:30. Let's take our 10-minute break and come back here in 10 minutes, and we will figure out how you guys are going to survive your assault on Juju House.
And we'll see how much I can blow my rolls.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get a crowbar because we may need to break in, and it's a handy weapon.
Sure. You do that.
Doesn't Alejandro already have one?
Probably, but you can
We're
have
gonna need a
multiple
couple.
crowbars.
Good a couple.
Everybody bring crowbars.
Excellent.
That's what all the cool kids are doing.
Okay.
Our gang
All right,
name will be
guys,
the
let's try to
Pro
be
Boys.
back for 9:37.
Boys.
Gotcha.
Thank you.